Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to just touch on some quick basic techniques you'll use with a lot of your jewelry, as well as show you a couple of hacks of my own for making other findings. I'll be showing you how I make my eye pins, flathead pins, how I finish loops, and how to make a few different kinds of jump rings. And I'll also show you how I utilize these in my jewelry. So first we're going to make an eye pin, which is a head pin with a loop at the end. And basically a head pin is a piece of wire with a head or stopper at one end, and that stops the bead from sliding off. So I'm using a 20 gauge round, dead soft copper wire, and I'm just going to grab the very end of it with my baling pliers. And then I'll just use my other hand to shape my wire around the pliers. I'll just move the wire up a little bit so I can bring the end of the loop closer into the other side of it so it kind of closes it. I'm going to flip this wire around and reposition it on my pliers. And then holding the pliers closed, I'm just going to press this wire down at a 90-degree angle. And then I'll just adjust it with my bent nose pliers. Now I can put some of my beads on. To finish off the other side of this little beaded piece, I'll use the same concept we just utilized for the eye pin, but backwards. I'll bend it first, and then I'll shape it around my baling pliers and snip it off, and I'll adjust that as well. So little beaded findings like these can be utilized for all kinds of things. I like to use them as decorative accents to hang charms and earrings from. Here you can see I used them on some bookmarks, and you can do a lot with them. You can make decorative chain out of these, make them long with a lot more beads, curve them, etc. Okay, so next we'll look at how to make our own flat head pins. This is what a store-bought flat head pin looks like, and these are nice because they aren't really visible under the bead. You can also get ball head pins that add a nice accent as well, and that's what these look like. So if you don't have access to these pre-made pins, this is going to be an easy way to make your own. So I'm taking some 18 gauge round dead soft copper wire, and I'm going to take some flat pliers and put the tip of my wire down here on the very inner part of the pliers, and I'm just going to give it a good couple of squeezes with both my hands. And that just flattens out the end of the wire for us, so we can check and make sure it's wide enough to stop our bead. And then we want to file and sand this tip a bit to shape it and smooth it out so it's not sharp and pokey. So to start with that, I'm just gently using a metal file, and I'm going to start shaping the edges. And notice I am holding this right down near the tip. This is going to help me keep from bending my wire as I'm sanding it down. Then I'll switch to some 800 grit sandpaper, and I'll just continue to hold the wire close to the tip and gently round the edges a little bit more. And then to completely smooth it out, I'll finish it with some 1500 grit sandpaper. Now we can add some beads and finish this with a loop. And another way to finish a loop is to go ahead and cut it at the length that you think you'll need and just finish it with some round pliers. And here are some examples of how to use these beaded findings in your work. As you can see here, these are some that I had fun bending and playing around with. Okay, next we're going to make some jump rings, and this is pretty simple. Basically, we're just going to coil some 18 gauge round wire around one of the sections of our baling pliers. Once we have our little coil, we can go ahead and take our flush cutters and snip each ring. Now I just want to take those flush cutters and snip this side of the ring that's angled and sharp. And then I'm just going to use 2 sets of pliers to close and tighten the ring. Now we'll do something I call a figure-8 jump ring. There may be a more accurate official industry name for it, but I'm not aware of it if there is. So we'll start by making 1 loop at the end of our wire. And then I'll spin it around and start to bend it like I'm making an eye pin, but I'll go ahead and loop this wire all the way around the other side of the pliers. And to finish it, I'll just keep the pliers closed as I pull the wire off and readjust it so I can complete its shape around the pliers. And then I'll just go ahead and snip it and make my final adjustments. You can hammer your jump rings if you want. I would definitely recommend it for 20 gauge. It will help strengthen them, and it also gives them a different look and texture. Just be sure to hammer slowly and firmly. If you hammer too quickly, you're likely to have your jump ring fly off your bench block. They really only need a few good solid whacks to harden and flatten them out a bit. So here's one last variation on the figure-8 jump ring. This one is doubled up, so it's got some strength to it and also gives it a little different look to play around with. I'm just taking some 20 gauge square dead soft wire. It's about 6 inches long, and I'm going to bend it in the middle. And I'm going to gently squeeze it in on itself so that there's no more gap. And now I'll just shape it like I did that first one. Alright guys, thanks for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed this project and I hope it was helpful for you. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you'd like to help me make more of these tutorials, please hit the like button and consider sharing on your social media because that's really what helps my channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Also, if you follow me on Instagram, feel free to share pictures of your creations with me because I really love to see what my tutorials inspire. And I just want to end by saying have a fantastic day and remember to love your neighbor as yourself, and in all things treat others as you want to be treated, for this is the law and the prophets. God bless you guys, and I hope to see you in the next video.